Hello everybody, my name is Peter Close. I do LeetCode questions here on my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be doing longest common prefix. So write a function to find the longest common prefix string amongst an array of strings. If there is no common prefix, return an empty string. Okay, so example 1, they give a flower, flow, flight. FLO is the common prefix. Prefix is the letters that come at the beginning of a word. So FLL is the longest. Example 2, dog, race car, car. Notice how they all start with different letters, so obviously there is no common prefix. And constraints, they're just telling us the nice, I guess the most important thing is that it's equal to 0. They could give you an empty array, so I guess that's important to keep in mind. And lowercase letters. Okay, so here are my notes for this question. I restate the question right here. And so let's go through this example. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our prefix to be the very first element of this array, and we're just going to loop through the strings. And what we're going to be asking in particular is if the prefix is at the 0th index of at every single item in the array. So we take flower and we say, what's the index of flower in flow? And obviously it's not there. So what we have to do is we have to cut off this R, and then what we do is we say, where's the index of this FLOWE in flower? Again, this is obviously not true. So now we have to scribble out R and then E, and we ask the question, where is the index of this and this? And it is 0, and therefore we can now move to the next. So moving to flight, we notice, oh, it's not, so we have to go scratch out another letter. So we scratch out the E, we scratch out the the R, E, and then W. We take this, compare it with this. It does work, obviously, right? Because the previous FLOW worked. Then we compare it to here. Does not work, so we have to scribble out the R, E, W, O. We compare this FLO, or FL, to flow, which it works. And we compare it to here, and it works. And we're at the end of the array, so therefore we return just this FL right here. So how we're going to edit this substring every time is just by setting the prefix to just one less length. And this is kind of like the steps. So if you want to pause and take a look at that, that's exactly kind of what I was going through. Might add a little bit of detail, but without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this question. So because the constraint is that it could be 0, let's make sure that if it is 0, let's return that empty string. So we're going to say if the length of it is equal to 0, we're going to return that empty string. Now let's initialize our string object, or our prefix, the 0th index. And then let's go ahead and loop through the, starting at the 1th position, because we already have 0 right here. So we're going to say int I is equal to 0. I is less, or not 0, sorry, 1, for the exact reason why I just mentioned. I is less than nums.length. I cannot type today. So int I is equal to 1, I is less than nums.length. Make sure I spelled that right. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to loop through that string that we're currently at. So while the we're taking the next item dot index of the prefix. If it's not equal to 0, then we got to shorten the prefix. And we're going to go from 0 to the prefix that length, the length of the prefix, minus 1. Yeah, because we're decrementing it, or de-incrementing it. And then we're going to go ahead and return the prefix. So let's make sure that we have this correct. So given this array of strings, we're going to first check that it is not empty. because if it is empty, we're just going to return an empty string. Then we're going to find that prefix, and we're going to say it's the first one. So we have that first element, and we know it exists because we checked that it exists. Then we're going to loop through the rest of nums, and we're going to say if this string's at I, meaning is the strings following what we're currently at the prefix. If the index of that prefix is not equal to 0, meaning if it's not the beginning, that's what I was saying about when I take this and I say index, where is the index of this in this? What's the index? The index is, there is no index, right? It will definitely not equal to 0. But when we keep on cutting up and we see that FLOW, the index of it is 0. So the exact same example that I worked through that I mentioned earlier. So that's why we use strings I. Prefix is equal to prefix substring, yeah, hopefully it's spelled right, 0 to prefix.length minus 1, and then we return the prefix. So we can kind of get rid of some of this white space and submit it. Let's see what we missed up here. Length I++ int I is equal to 1, nums dot length nums. Today's been a long day. Strings. That should work. Awesome. 100%. Memory usage, 15.4%, 15.14%, 15.40%. That's pretty good. This is really, really good. Yeah. So hopefully this helped in explaining this question. As always, any positive feedback about this, or even negative feedback about this video, much appreciated. I'm trying to get this refined as much as possible. I bet for not posting a while because midterms kind of kicked my butt, but I guess it is what it is. You guys take care and have a great rest of your day.